Hello, welcome to the next installment of Willow Creek's garden. This is probably going to be a quick one because even though the sun is out, it is starting to rain on me, which is why I quick got out here and put some plants in the ground because then I don't have to water. Happy to save on work wherever I can. So here we go. Alright, yesterday I had some fantastic helpers come out and they helped me get 2 of my beds done. So we have this bed, which is almost all onions, and you can see I have sticks in place in case I need to put row covers on. But the temperature is looking like I won't need to, but I'm going to leave the sticks in the ground, so if I have to quick throw a row cover over this because it's supposed to be cold at night, they're already there. I can put the row cover over it, and then I can just use the little row cover staples to hold it down. I do use the hoops also, and you can see that down on that bed. However, the hoops tend to break down and leave rust in my soil, and since I already have really irony water, I don't know how much more rust I want to put in there. The other bed that we put in yesterday is here, and this is all different types of beans. I think the ducks are really hoping that I'm going to give them the plants I was planting. So I have Riggerole Empress green beans, I have pole beans, I think they're Kentucky Wonder pole beans, I have just a little patch right on the end of some scarlet runners that I'm going to put some stakes in the ground and grow them up because those get real tall. And then I have some black beans, pencil pod wax beans I think they are. But let's take a peek under some of these row covers and see what's going on. So the first one I'm going to check will be the summer squash. Alright, I am actually really excited because I can see the summer squash doing well right through the row nets. So here we go. Summer squash. Looks like it's all doing fabulous under here. These actually were my second plantings. So they're getting pretty big already. I'm pretty excited about that. Just stake that down and let's move over to the first ones that I put in the ground, and they are in here. Alright, here are some of the first squash plants that go on the ground. So these are a week or 2 older than that other one. So they're looking pretty good. They're coming up through the straw nice. So I'm skipping over the carrots. I pulled up the row covers and they're so little you can't hardly even see them on camera. So there's just no point in even trying to show them. But look at this. I have kale, spinach, and lettuce all throughout this bed, and it's all looking that fantastic. Whoops, got my finger in the way. Lots and lots of greens coming up. The ducks are going to be thrilled. Alright, there's the start of a pea plant. That's about all the bigger the peas are yet. There's a weed right next to it. Let's get that out of there. But the peas are starting to come up. Excellent. I just checked under this one to look for broccoli, and I don't see any coming up, which makes me sad, because those were seedlings. They were pretty small when I put them in the ground, and it takes a long time for broccoli to come up. So if this doesn't work out, I'm kind of out of luck for broccoli this year. Swinging over to this bed, strawberries are coming up, and I have this one crazy asparagus that decided to come in already, and none of its friends are, so I don't want to pick it because what am I going to do with one asparagus? I can steam one. So I guess that one's just going to be allowed to grow. The other asparagus, if you dig the leaves aside, you can just barely see that it's starting to come up. So hopefully the other ones will catch up with it. That one was just eager, I guess. The last thing that I did today is I put my tomatoes in the ground. So I started these seedlings under grow lights in my house. So the tomatoes are in the ground. I gotta get the straw down, and I'm gonna bed them really, really thick because it's a little early to get them out here. Last year when I put them out though, they did not survive. Or I shouldn't say they didn't survive. I put them out too late, and it got way too hot too fast, and they didn't really produce much. So I'm hoping by getting them out earlier, and then I'll put tons of straw around them to to keep them insulated and warm, they'll make it this year. But it's a learning curve, right? Some of these plants, I admit, I've never grown before. The ones I have grown, I grew in Wisconsin, so it's a big difference between Wisconsin and North Carolina. Alright, so here's just an overview of the garden, right? Onions. This is what the second bed back is, the one that I call my permanent bed. It's asparagus, blackberry, strawberry. Next one right now is broccoli, 2 potato towers. Let me zoom out. Summer squash. The middle right now is just garlic and raspberries. Back there is tomatoes, peas. That whole covered bed is all different greens. I don't have anything in the pots right now. This is all different types of beans. And then this covered row is carrots, which again, you can barely see them, so I didn't bother showing them yet. So that's what I have in the ground so far. The other things that I have planted this year, I'm going to walk over, where I put a bunch of tulip bulbs right here on this corner. But I'm assuming ducks have a decent sense of smell, because I don't know how else they knew exactly where to dig to get the tulip bulbs out, or tulip bulbs out. But I don't think next year I'm going to have as many tulips coming up on this corner as I had hoped. Hello again. So I admit, generally when I'm working on the videos, I try really hard to make sure the backgrounds are decent, and that you're not seeing a bunch of junk and stuff piled around. However, in order to show you everything that's growing and coming up, you're going to see some junk. And I think I just need to accept the fact that this is a property that we live on. We both work 40 hours a day, plus we raise the ducks. Plus, you know, my daughter has a horse that she rides that I take her out to ride a few nights a week, and everything else that's just involved with everyday living. So I wanted to show you some plants that are coming up. And again, you're going to see some junk in the background, but it's just stuff we're working on or haven't had a chance to haul to recycling or the dump or whatever the case may be. Here we go. First off, I really want you to be able to see, and I wish the sun was out so you could see her a little better yet. But we have clay. It is red dirt clay. I put some bulbs that I think are irises in the ground last spring, and they're coming up. I didn't know what would happen if I put bulbs in this nasty old soil. I've worked very hard in the veggie gardens to make the soil nice. But I'm happy to say all the bulbs that I put in the clay have come up. Here's some bulbs that I put in some nice soil, my crocuses. My daughter, who's 11, and I, our favorite color is purple. So we chose a lot of purple flowers when we were picking bulbs. Something else that's doing really well here is this vine, and this is a native North Carolinian honeysuckle vine. So the plan is to grow it up the porch and kind of hide this beat up old railing here that we have. So I have one there, and then one on the ground over here that I see has decided to go across the ground rather than up, so I guess I'll be tying that one up today. So this is right outside our front door. This was a solid shade area until we had that silver maple there taken down because it was shading the vegetable garden. And you can see we have a lot of the native, I think it's allium, growing. Around here they call it onion grass. It does bloom and it's pretty. My intent someday, and it's going to be a while, is to raise this up, put some nice dirt in it, and have a garden right here. Because this is so full of roots and the dirt is so bad, or the soil is so bad, there's just no point in even trying to plant this. Here's one of our 2 peach trees blooming. I don't recall what this one's called, but it's blooming. They're 2 very similar peaches. I think both of them are yellow peaches with, was it Freestones or whatever they're called. So hopefully we'll get peaches this year. And our other peach tree has its first flower opening, but it's got a lot of buds on it. So hopefully, like I said, we'll get a lot of peaches this year. I know there's a lot of weeds in the background. I got to work on that. There used to be a bush here, and it likes to try and grow again. But if I could get the camera to focus on the right thing, you would see that this is my grapevine just starting to grow. And then also in this bed, we have a lot of daylilies and some ornamental grasses. For those who aren't aware, my parents are daylily hybridizers. Most of the ones that are in this bed came with the house, but a few of them are special daylilies that I've purchased. And then right across my little gravel walkway here is a daylily that my mom hybridized and registered that came up. And then over here I have some other daylilies again that I purchased locally from a local hybridizer. And then some irises coming up. This is what happens every time you dig a hole on my property. A duck comes and eats all the worms that you need to loosen up this clay soil. I was trying to plant a couple mints. And look at naughty ducks.